Okay, well, I just recorded a very long, heartfelt video, and apparently none of it recorded. So this one's going to be less emotional, and it's going to be a lot faster. But what I wanted to share with anyone is the true meaning of DeFi in crypto and how to use it to actually improve your life and not be chasing degen gains, degen trash, trying to get as rich as possible overnight. I was supposed to be on the way to the gym now, but apparently none of it recorded. So I want to record this real fast for you. But the point was, I spent some time with family last night, and it had me thinking about when I was a kid. And essentially, the long story short of what I'd shared in the last video that didn't record was that I remember feeling guilty as a kid with my grandpa because he built this big game room for me and all my cousins, right? There was like 6 Xboxes and like 13 freaking grandkids, and we would all go over there on the weekends, or, you know, it was probably like weekends, right? We'd spend weekends over there, and we'd all be playing the games and everything, but long story short, we never spent any time with Grandpa, actually, okay? And eventually he passed from cancer, and I felt really guilty about that for a long time, even though I was a kid, but I still felt really guilty about it, and I still remember that feeling today. I still know that feeling inside. And so, you know, and I'm sure he loved just having us over, hearing us laugh and scream and fight and breaking that shit up, right? But I remember that feeling extensively. So as I'm at dinner last night with some family, you know, I see my other grandpa there, and I'm just starting to, I feel it in myself. I'm like, you know, they're starting to get old, you know, it's just this feeling that I have. Talked to my dad on the phone later that night, and it's the same thing. I started, you know, just feeling in my heart, I'm like, man, 50s, right? Like, that's getting old. Like, you know, it is, you know, as much as I tease him about it, it's like I feel some sadness in there, if that makes sense, okay? So the point of this, what I'm sharing with everyone, is that we're all going to be in a different place, okay? Some of you will be young like me, and maybe you're feeling this way about your parents and grandparents. They're getting old. There's not much time left. Some of you may have grandkids or children, and you feel that you were the one that's getting old, or maybe you're in your 30s and you feel both. You've got kids, you feel old, and you have parents, and they're getting old, and it's this giant clusterfuck of fuck, we don't have any time. And the problem is that the rest of our lives, for most of us, we've been trading all of our time for money. And I think when you're young, that is what you have to do, and it's the best thing you can do. But now what we need to do is start to get our time back, okay? And most of us believe in this. Most of us believe that the dollar is going down, and we need to invest our dollars to get that time back and grow that over time for later. That's how we ended up in crypto, in Bitcoin, etc., to begin with. The problem is some people are, one, chasing altcoin degen trash, going absolutely crazy on the sidelines, and then you're not growing that, you're taking the time, earning money for it, and then you're not growing that money. You're not getting your time back. You are losing the money. You are literally just throwing those years of your life away. All that time I spent with my cousins, not talking to my grandpa, all the time I spent working, not talking to my dad or anything like that, you throw it all away, so that's a waste. Because you didn't miss all that time with your parents or grandparents or grandkids, whoever it may be. You didn't miss all that time because you were working and you're going to spend more time with them later, the next 5 years. Now you have nothing to show for it. And now you're spending no time with anybody and you're still working. You have nothing to show for it. And that is the problem. So what do we need to do? We need to use our time to get money and then use that money to get our time back. That's the solution for most everyone. And I think I've just been feeling a little emotional as I leave for Thailand in like 2 days, the time of this recording. So I'm just really starting to be like, man, it's a month gone. I'm not going to see anybody. What if something happens to somebody? I'm just going to feel sad, right? And so I don't want anyone to feel this way. And maybe some of you do. And, you know, that's okay. We just need to be able to acknowledge those feelings and what we can do about it. And so a lot of what I wanted to share is just, you know, most of us believe in that core concept. And that's why we're investing in Bitcoin to begin with. But you can take it a step further, okay? Because you don't want to have to sell your Bitcoin at the perfect price just to be able to spend a weekend with your grandkids or with your parents or grandparents or whatever that may be. You're really trying to set yourself up for the future. And that does not look like gambling shitcoins to try to hit 100x. That looks like you take your hard-earned money, you traded your time for it, and you're buying quality assets. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, whatever blue chips that may be to you. As you go down the list, they get riskier. Honestly, they do. So you need to be careful. Nothing as safe in the crypto market as your Bitcoin. And what we do is we borrow that equity against it. You know, it's looking at like 5-6% a year right now, borrowing 10 grand, and you take that and you plug it into liquidity pools, which I've shown a million times. Okay, I've shown a million times, and you're earning 6, 8, 10, 12% a month on lower risk stuff, right? You don't want to take any high risk positions. and you start cash flowing. So if I have 10 grand and I'm cash flowing 10% a month back, that's $1,000 a month coming back in the portfolio. And what that does is it starts to buy me time back. And some people, a lot of the 148 people inside this community right now, they use that money to cash flow lifestyle, which is an option. Or you can use it to go take a trip with your mom or your grandparents or your dad or your grandkids. And you don't have to feel guilty about spending that money because it's coming to you passively. You didn't trade any time for that money. The money you've already earned is working for you. If you're someone more like me most of the time, you're using that cash flow to start to buy back more of these assets, especially at juicy, juicy prices like right now, 84K. Ooh, that's crazy. You know, market is dipping again. Who cares? Only people that care are very emotional people that are watching the day-to-day price. I don't want to be a trader. I don't want another 9-to-5 job. I don't want another 9-to-5. I want to spend time with my family, who I'm realizing a lot of them are getting old. I'm realizing I'm getting old. I'm realizing my brother isn't a little freaking kid anymore. You know, he's an adult now too. And it's getting really scary and weird. And maybe I'm just sad. I'm going to Thailand. And I'm going to miss the people that I don't see anyways because I'm already always working all the time. But that's the point, guys. The point is that you can focus on working on what you are passionate about, whether that maybe is YouTube or from me teaching all 148 people, right? And then a little bit of the free time that I do have, I can spend with the people I love and want to see before they are gone. God, it's so morbid, but it's true. Before they're gone, or if you have grandkids, maybe before they're adults. Maybe you want to spend time with them when they're 12 and 14 like my grandpa did, you know? Before they're 18, 21, and then you never see them again until they're in their 30s and they realize everyone's getting old. But that's the game, right? I'm sure everyone can relate in some way. And so use your hard-earned assets to generate an income for you so then you can focus on spending some time with those people. You can focus on accumulating more assets for free, and you can sell them off at high points in the market to pay for your lifestyle if you want. You can sell the immediate cash flow every day to pay for the lifestyle if you want as well. There's no right or wrong way to play it, but this is the best thing that you can do. Stay in your quality assets, borrow some equity out of them, and use that to cash flow. So you can live your life on your terms the way that you want. So you don't have to feel the guilt. You don't have to feel the guilt, right? I still feel guilty about all that time at my grandpa's I spent with my cousins playing video games and not with grandpa. And then he got sick. And then before you know it, they're gone. And you feel guilty. At least I do. And that's just the way it was. All that time there, but none of it with him. I was on that damn screen. Nothing makes you feel worse than that, right? So that's the thing. If you can play this game, if you're someone like Grant, who's already traded almost like, I would say, a majority of their working life, like you've spent a lot of your younger years, right? And you're a high net worth individual who can make APRs, this amount per day is insane, right? For a lot of us, myself included, we're not there yet, right? Weekly 4 grand, still nothing to laugh at, right? These APRs, these are more from a high APR, high volume. These APRs right here are from more of a high volume segment of the market. Right now, we're looking to just try to get that 8 to 12% a month, man. That's all I need. We're not getting the freaking 20, 30% a month right now. It's just not happening. The volumes are not high enough. But this is the game. This is the game. Get that cash flow coming in so you can spend your life the way you want. That way, the time that you are trading, it's with the people you love, or it's with a job you actually care and are passionate about. I'm passionate about everything inside of here, everyone I'm teaching, everything on the YouTube channel. I'm passionate about that. It doesn't feel like a waste. I'm not having to push through every day. I feel pulled towards it. I'm skipping the gym. I drank most of this pre-workout, and I'm not there yet because I wanted to make this video. It was on my heart. I was pulled to make this video, and it's the second time, so it may be better. It may be not as good because the recording didn't work the first time, which actually pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. There's nothing like pouring all your heart and soul into something and you look down and it never fucking was on. That's crazy. The point being, you have to trade time for money in the beginning unless you're born into a blessed position, which a lot of you here probably want to change the course of your bloodline so your future spawn, your future children will have that blessing, right? Myself included. You trade your time for money. And then you do that so aggressively at the beginning that your money can start to buy you your time back. And that's the whole point. That is the whole game. You pull equity against those assets, whether it's homes or Bitcoin or Ethereum. You put those into businesses or more assets that cash flow, like rental properties or DeFi, liquidity pool positions, and the cash flow funds your lifestyle. The cash flow funds your investments. The cash flow buys you your time back. So you can start to use some of that extra time with the people you love, the people you care about, the people that don't have the time. You can take that time, spend it with them. And speaking of time, if you want to save 2 years of learning and making mistakes and every single thing in there, you can join my 10K Fast Track. I have 148 members inside. You can book a call down below to speak with me. We'll work one-on-one, get you set up on the path to this financial freedom. Whatever your goal may be, we'll get you on the right path to where you can see exactly what you want and get exactly what you want out of your portfolio and out of life, and without making 2-3 years of mistakes like I did, where I lost money here and lost money there and made these mistakes. These are all written out. There's a whole classroom section, modules. You work with me. There's group calls every week as well. It's just a beautiful shortcut to getting to the life that you actually want. Okay, so anyone here interested, click that link down below, book a call with me. And again, YouTube always says that you might want to watch that video down there. And if not, boys, see you in the next one.